Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake ELLENBOGEN. Today I'm going to talk about something that, look, it's been a lot of news. It's been a lot of, research. But I actually thought of a different type of video I wanted to put out today because I was thinking about it. And yes, the Rams just signed Connor McDermott. We got that video out there. But I wanted to take a look at potentially seeing if history repeats itself. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. And let's get started. So, guys, I'm talking about James Daniels of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm talking about last year, the Rams made a Kevin Dotson move. It was a pick swap this year and next year. Obviously, the Steelers ended up getting a 4th rounder. They gave up a 5th rounder. And then, of course, next year, I believe the Rams give up a 5th rounder to the Steelers. Now, I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying that, this needs to happen. I'm not saying that he would start right away, but James Daniels of the Pittsburgh Steelers, wearing number 78, drafted in the 2018 draft by the Chicago Bears in the 2nd round. A guy that's going to be 27 years old relatively soon. 6'4", 327 pounds, has experience in zone, has experience as a gap blocker as well. I think just the versatility there, he makes a lot of sense for the LA Rams. I did not want to get into this. I did not want to. I thought, to me, this Rams offensive line was really set. And I think right now they do have a lot of depth. If, of course, you are looking at the guys that should be starting is healthy. You're not, unfortunately. Right now, those guys are hurt. And we're talking about Alaric Jackson, a left tackle. We're talking about Jonah Jackson, a left guard. And we're talking about right tackle Rob Havenstein, who has been essentially Mr. Ram. He's the last remaining St. Louis Ram on the roster. So, look, these guys are very important. Obviously, we've talked about Joe Noteboom. We've talked about Zach Thomas filling in at left guard. We've talked about Warren McClendon Jr. filling in at right tackle. They, of course, added 2 guys in the draft via, Bo Limmer and KT Leviston. So, look, I'm aware that they have bodies, right? I'm aware that they have Logan Bruss. I'm aware that they have guys, Ajara Curry. What I am a little concerned with, okay, adding Connor McDermott helps, but what I'm a little concerned with is the reality that Jonah Jackson cannot stay healthy. And I understand you can feel great about Jonah Jackson and everything, but I am still very concerned about his health. I do not think he makes it half the year this year. So I am proposing the Rams do something very similar to the thing they just did. They went out and got Kevin Dotson last year, right before the season, literally right before the season. They got him. James Daniels is a name. First off, he's an expiring contract. The Steelers have an option behind him because, they added McCormick out of South Dakota State. And I think there's a chance that he could start. He's also somebody that he wanted a contract. The Steelers did not give it to him and has been mentioned in trade rumors. Of course, the Brandon Ayuk stuff that's going on right now, he's been mentioned in that. So I would have to imagine he's available, okay? But at what cost? What would it take? Well, I got to be honest with you. I think it's going to take around a mid-round pick, very similar to Kevin Dotson. This is somebody that has a lot of experience just playing in this league and playing at a decent level. Pass protector, also a run blocker. I think he's a balanced player. Last year only gave up 1 sack, 22 pressures, had a 97.7 pass protection efficiency rating, 98.4 the year before. He has a career 97.8, so he is valuable and he's useful in pass pro. He's played multiple positions. Mainly he's played guard, right guard being the case last year, but he has experience at left guard. He has experience at center, played a decent amount of snaps at both. So I look at this guy as essentially, if you're going all in this year, and I guess all in is the wrong way to put it, but if you're trying to win now, okay, you're trying to win a Super Bowl this year, you're really going for it. To me, the biggest weak link on this team is Jonah Jackson at left guard. Because if he can't stay healthy, it really kind of puts the Rams in flux. Yeah, okay, they can put Noteboom there. They can move, Avila back to left guard or what have you. But I think if you were to go out and get a guy like James Daniels, a high quality. I mean, he can start. He's a solid starter. But if you were to go out there and get a high quality backup in James Daniels, look, I understand his contract and everything. I don't know if he would love it so much because he's in a contract year and it would feel like, okay, this is kind of slipping away from him. But when I look at Daniels, I mean, this is a guy that's going to get paid around $8 million this year. The Rams could sweeten the deal, adding maybe a player, maybe, adding in an extra pick, have the Steelers take on the majority of the contract, and then the Rams have a really, really good backup. And look, I say this right now because they just got McDermott. McDermott gives them a tackle option, but having an interior option like James Daniels, who is actually at the starting level, could really benefit them. And I think the reason behind this video, the reason why I've been saying I'm even bringing up James Daniels is because I am very concerned about Jonah Jackson, his injury history and what have you. And I think he means so much to what they're trying to do this year. I don't think that they can get away with just a plug and play guy. I think they really should go after a guy like James Daniels, a guy that can start in a pinch, a guy that started plenty of games. I mean, when you look at Daniels, he has a lot of experience. And so, I do think ultimately the Rams will make another move, I think, right before the season starts. I don't know what it'll be, but I'm telling you right now, I think James Daniels, the guy that he started, he's been in 80 games, right? So he started 80 games. He's been in 86 games, started all 32 games that he's played in for the Steelers. He started 48 of the 54 he played in for the Bears. Again, experience matters. He's been in the league since 2018. He's going to be 27 soon. He is an expiring contract, so this would be a rental. But to me, I think this could really help you get over the hump and win the Super Bowl. Now, the reason I say that is because, again, I just don't have confidence these guys who are already banged up in training camp are going to make it through 17 games and so forth. So I think it's important to go out, get a guy like James Daniels that can help you out now, can either play right away if need be, and maybe you don't rush back Jonah Jackson, or he's a very, very good backup. We're talking a premium backup player. And I wouldn't mention him if he wasn't already mentioned in all of these different rumors about Brandon Ayuk. So it tells me that the Steelers, who, by the way, already have, basically a relationship trading with the Rams. They've done it before, Allen Robinson and, of course, Kevin Dotson, and they've made moves during the draft. I think there's a familiarity there with Snead and Khan that I think they could get this deal done. And, of course, the Steelers could decide, you know what? We couldn't get him a deal. That sucks. We're going to keep him around anyway. We believe he could help us potentially win a Super Bowl this year. And if that's the case, James Daniels doesn't get traded. But hearing that he's already been mentioned in conversation to go after Brandon Ayuk, well, it tells me that he is available. And I do think that the Rams would be interested if he was available. And, of course, he is in Iowa. Interior offensive line. Rams love the Big Ten guys and, of course, the SEC guys. But, we'll see. I think ultimately he would really help them out because I think the big thing, if you're looking at anything to take away from this offseason, if you're looking at anything to take away from the extended season, now it's a 17-game schedule. To me, the biggest thing is offensive line. It probably always was, but now you go out, you get James Daniels, you have KT Leviston, you have Bo Limmer, you have Warren McClendon Jr., who could also play guard, as well as Joseph Noteboom and Zach Thomas, and you got a lot of depth. You have a lot of options there at guard and in the interior. Then you have a tackle, you have Noteboom, you have Alec Jackson, you have Rob Havenstein, you have Warren McClendon Jr., okay? You have Connor McDermott, and we'll see if Logan Bruss makes the team. But I think this is ultimately the move. If the Rams decide to go and make a trade, which they've done before, like I mentioned, they did last year, if they decide to go and make a trade that can help them win, James Daniels was, would be no different than Kevin Dotson. Dotson was a starter. The Steelers just basically didn't feel like he fit into their blocking scheme, was a free agent after the season. And so they sent him to the Rams, and the Rams didn't even start him right away. Okay. There was a period of time where he had to kind of, gel, and he had to understand the offense and everything and learn everything. So he didn't play until week 4, right? And that's the reality of it. So James Daniels doesn't have to play right away, but I think the entire purpose of this is to realize, look, the most important position is the offensive line. You're not getting anywhere without an offensive line. Your quarterback could be the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's not going to be able to throw the ball if he has no time to throw it. And so I look at this. I think we've seen it before. I think the Rams, Sean McVay, Les Snead saw 2022 how important the offensive line was. And I think based on the deck that you've been dealt so far, I don't think it's crazy to assume the Rams may go out and get a guy like James Daniels, somebody that they feel a little bit better with, knowing that they have a lot of injuries they're dealing with right now. So the wheels on the wagon totally fell out in 2022, and that was at the start of the season when the offensive line went down with injury. Okay, everything followed after that, but it was essentially that. So we're seeing it already. We're seeing 3 guys go down. They went out and got a body in Connor McDermott, who has actually started some games at tackle in the NFL. James Daniels has a lot of starts, a lot of experience at guard. We'll see what ends up happening. Ultimately, I think this is the move that they should make, and I think that they should also very much consider going after former Steeler cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon. Now, to add to that last bit there, I know a lot of people are like, why isn't Witherspoon on the Rams? Witherspoon wants to start. He has every reason to want to do that. He's the number 1 corner from last year on the Rams, and so he's not trying to take a backseat role. Obviously there was communication there. We heard about that offseason, early in the offseason, that they were communicating with his agent and what have you. So we'll see what ends up happening in regards to Ahkello. But I think the 2 positions that the Rams did not address early on in the draft that I think a lot of people wanted in cornerback and offensive line, I think those are the 2 positions that they'd be most likely to trade for before the season. But those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you like this idea of going after James Daniels, bolstering essentially the offensive line room and the depth, and gearing up for a long season? Or do you think this is a little bit overkill? To me, I don't think it's overkill because you have guys with injury concerns, and James Daniels has started tons of games. He started 2 full 17-game seasons. The last 2 of the last 3 years, he started 15 games last year. So he has given you kind of that model of consistency. And is he the greatest guard ever? No, but he's very talented, and I think he'd be even better with the Rams coaching. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.